Hello, and welcome to Freedom with Marketing. Today, we're going to talk about different strategies to grow your email list. But I'm going to start off with a quick story about an experience I once had with a client. This story illustrates a mistake that a lot of businesses make, and this particular example ended up with an extreme outcome. You might not have an outcome as extreme as this, but it's certainly something to be aware of and certainly something to try to avoid. So here it is. I worked with a client for 2 to 3 years and I helped manage their email marketing. This was a few years back when I was a little bit less experienced than I am now. And what I did, we had daily emails and we ran regular product launch promotions and regular flash sales in order to sell their product. So this particular client, they had one main product and they had an email list with probably 10 to 15,000 subscribers on. And, daily emails, regular promotions, it should, in theory, have been wonderful for them. Start off with, we had quite a bit of success. We made a fair bit of sales. The client was ecstatic about it. But several months later, the sales started to dip. A year and a half later, sales were almost non-existent, and the client started looking at me as if it was my problem. So here's what actually happened. I was responsible for managing the daily emails. I was responsible for writing sales pages, sales copy, and running promotions and different things. But the client didn't actively grow their email list. So what we ended up doing was selling the same offer to the same people every time we ran a promotion. You're going to reach a point when you do that where everybody that wants to buy would have bought, and you're just left with an email list with people that don't want to buy something. And this is why this client, they ended up in some, I'll be blunt about it, they ended up in some financial difficulties as a result of this. And then they looked at me and sort of blamed me, when in actual fact, they never actually bothered to get new people onto their email list or put their offer in front of new people. And the analogy with this is sort of like, you imagine going out in the street and somebody comes up to you trying to sell something to you and you say no, but they're persistent, they keep putting it in your face. No, don't want it. And they keep doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that's exactly what happened with this client. And that is a common mistake that I've seen with other businesses, which basically is that you have an email list, but you're not actively growing it and you're not actively getting new subscribers, but you still expect the same number of sales. So this workshop today is going to show you how to avoid this common mistake and how to grow your email list effectively, and how you can make sure that you're always getting far more new subscribers onto your list than so you're continuously growing your list. Let's dive in. So inside this workshop, we're going to cover the 7 core concepts of growing your email list. These are in no particular order. These are just a few from my experience and my opinion. There may be some that I've missed. And then I'll talk about 6 ways that you can grow your email list. And we'll also mention the most important thing that you need to understand when it comes to growing your email list, so you don't want to miss that. And finally, we'll then have a look at paid versus non-paid ways to grow your list. So that's basically organic marketing versus paying for advertising. So that's what you'll find in the workshop. At the end of it, you'll come away understanding why you need to grow your email list. You'll understand various concepts about your email list, about growing it, getting it bigger, list quality, why, things that you need to avoid, and various things. And I'll give you 6 solid strategies that you can actually start to implement before a quick discussion about paid advertising versus non-paid advertising, and a system that I've developed to make your advertising costs irrelevant, and so you can basically grow your email list infinitely if you apply the strategy I'll share with you at the end. So let's dive into the 7 core concepts. Core concept number 1: not every email list is equal. What do I mean by that? You might have one main email list with 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, or maybe you've got one email list with 200 subscribers on there. Not every subscriber on the email list is equal. Your email list likely consists of different groups of people based on their previous behavior. The most important behavior, which are, in my opinion, is the distinction between whether they are a non-buyer, a buyer, or a repeat buyer. A non-buyer is someone that has not bought from you in the past. A buyer is someone who has bought from you in the past. A repeat buyer is, you guessed it, someone that has bought from you more than once in the past. So what's the difference between these? So it's generally considered in marketing that someone that has bought from you in the past is between 10 and 16 times more likely to buy from you again compared to someone that is buying from you for the first time. If you've watched my other videos, you'll hear me say this statistic a lot, and you'll also hear me saying that I don't know who said this to start off with, and I don't necessarily have any hard data that I can show you right now in order to back it up. But in my experience, this is what I found around abouts. And also, if you just apply logic and have a thought experiment and think about it, it kind of makes sense. Because someone that comes to you for the first time and they have not bought from you, they aren't sure if you're legitimate, they aren't sure if you're going to deliver on the results, they aren't sure of the quality that you're going to give them, compared to someone that does buy from you and they do consume the product. They actually know that you deliver the product and you're not just going to scam them. They see that what you have is high quality. They can see that you deliver the results. They know that you're legitimate. They're much more likely to buy from you again, especially if you can deliver a result. And this then leads on to a repeat buyer, that someone has bought from you 2 or 3 times. Someone has bought 2 or 3 of your product or service, and much more likely to buy number 4 than someone who hasn't. So if you look at it from this context, your email list is separated into different segments based on buying behavior, past buying behavior. And out of the 3 that I've just described, your repeat buyers are probably more valuable than your buyers list, and your buyers list is more valuable than your non-buyers list. So when you can understand this concept here, if you want to sell more products or services, or if you want to have someone that pays your business a subscription, whether it's part of a membership, a low price membership, a higher priced membership, or maybe you're working with clients who pay you on a monthly income, it might make more strategic sense to encourage your non-buyers to become buyers and repeat buyers before you offer the higher value stuff. So that's concept number 1. Not every email list is equal. This is important when you actually come to think about what type of lead generation you're going to do to grow your email list. So core concept number 2, list quality is more important than list size. Let me give you an analogy to illustrate this point. You are selling a $10,000 offer. Which would you prefer? An email list with 100 people who have bought your products in the past, and they have already told you that they are interested in your $10,000 offer, and they are simply waiting for you to open the doors for you to take on new clients. So 100 people who are ready and waiting to have your $10,000 offer, or a list with 100,000 subscribers that have no interest in your $10,000 offer. Which would you prefer? I think I prefer the list with 100 people who are interested in what I have to sell, because when it comes to making the sale, they're more likely to buy, compared to a list of 100,000 people where, yeah, sure, maybe math and probability would work in your favor, but would you prefer to make 20 sales from a list of 100? Or would you prefer to make 2 sales from a list of 100,000? I know which I'd prefer on a higher priced offer. So list quality is more important than list size. So that leads on to core concept number 3. Whenever you're growing your email list, you need to start with your end goal in mind. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll hear me go on and on about this a lot, that you need to start with your end goal first. So what do you actually want to achieve with your email list? Do you want to sell your high ticket offer, your premium offer, which might be your done for you services, your group coaching, your one-on-one consulting, or various service based offers? Do you want to use your email list to sell lower priced products and services for consistent monthly cash flow? Do you want to get people into your membership who pay a monthly subscription? Start with your end goal in mind. If you know what you want to achieve, you can then reverse engineer the best strategy for your unique situation, which would make it much more likely that you're going to actually achieve your goal. It's kind of like the analogy I like to use is that imagine jumping into your car and driving randomly for 10 hours versus jumping into your car with a destination in mind and your sat nav which tells you where to go, and you arrive at your destination in an hour and a half. It's exactly the same concept. You want to start by knowing what you actually want to achieve, and then you can reverse engineer the strategy. And this is how you can improve your list quality, because if you know what the end goal is, you can put measures in place in order to attract the right people and to repel those who aren't. So, core concept number 4: people unsubscribing from your email list is a normal and natural thing. In fact, I often tell clients that you want to encourage people to unsubscribe from your email list. If people don't want to receive your content, or they no longer are interested in what you have to say, you don't want them on your email list. Simple as that. They just basically become dead weight. If you have an email list where a significant percentage of subscribers don't actively open your emails, they don't consume your emails, it's going to negatively skew your data that would suggest both to your business that what you're doing isn't working. It gives you inaccurate data to make decisions on, and also from a email deliverability standpoint, you'll probably find that having low open rates, low click-through rates, low metrics as a result of the dead weight on your email list, it's going to negatively affect your deliverability. I won't get into the technical details because I don't understand the technical details, but the bottom line is that if you have a lot of spam complaints from people that don't want to receive your emails, if you have low open rates compared to other people, your email IP address, I think it's IP address or something where it gets sent from, gets sort of relegated to a lower level, and therefore more of your emails end up in promotions and spam. So you want to actively encourage people that don't want to be on your email list to leave and to unsubscribe. And you can expect a small number per email you send. So every email you send, you will very likely have unsubscribes. Absolutely normal. I can't recall a statistic of what to aim for, but the number 0.25% unsubscribes per email springs to mind, which means you can probably expect around one person to unsubscribe out of every 400 on your email list. So if you have 4,000 people in your email list, you might get 4 to 5 people to unsubscribe per email that you send. So remember the story I told you at the start about the client that's constantly sent the same emails to the same people and expected different results? Well, this is what happened with them. That every email that we sent, people unsubscribed. Every day that passed, the email list got smaller and smaller and smaller, to the point where everybody on the list had bought what we already had. We had no new people, and it just got smaller and smaller every day. The solution to this, of course, is you need to grow your email list faster than your unsubscribes. So this means your email list is constantly getting bigger and bigger over time. And, just look at your data. How many people on average unsubscribe per email? How many people unsubscribe per month? You know, identify which sort of metric you want to use per email, per week, per month, per quarter, per year, whatever it is. And then, at the very least, you need to be growing your email list with new subscribers more than the rate that they're unsubscribing. Core concept number 5: you need to be constantly growing your email list. This directly relates to the point above, and it's just a natural part of things that your if you don't do anything, your email list will shrink. if you actively grow your email list, the number of new subscribers needs to exceed the number of people that unsubscribes. And that's how your email list will grow over time. Core concept number 6. This is also related to unsubscribes and growing your email list, that the larger your email list becomes, the more people that you market to and put yourself and your business in front of, the more negative comments, the more trolls, and the more sort of critical feedback you're going to receive. It's just a natural part of things.